Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Token Games Podcast. The first one completely done independently. I'm still your friendly host and referee, the friendly neighborhood Zach Pearson, and today I'm joined by our long-standing, long arm of the law, a one, Officer 9001.18th.
0.18. Hey, what's up?
And of course, the whore of Babylon, Vegeta, the lover of hairlines that recede into the shape of McDonald's, and Kanye West enthusiast, a one Marshall May.
You will show Vegeta some respect.
I will as soon as he gets a better hairline. All right, today's topics are not so much on the serious side, maybe a little satirical, but they do have some serious undertones. Topic 1 is about the Titans live action show and how, due to negative publicity, or so they claim, it's predicted to bomb. What also, let me see, what's this part 2? The new Teen Titans Season 6, besides being confirmed, has absolutely no story trailer. So with that being said, what loose ends or storylines do you want to possibly see make up one or pull one from the comics? And what characters do you want to see return or show up for the first time in Teen Titans Season 6, or however long they run it for? Also, on a side note, James Gunn is being hunted down by DC bigwigs over at Warner Brothers to possibly have him be a director. Although this is personally saddens me, what would you like to see James Gunn do in the DC Universe movie or cartoon format? In a movie or cartoon format, sorry. The Nintendo Switch's entire kit, or SDK, has now been leaked online. Not hacked, leaked. Is this the final nail in the coffin on Nintendo Switch security? Or do you think there still may be a way for them to come back from the future? From this open flood of hackers and, of course, rippers of their systems games. Now we're going to start with you, Officer. Because, well, for lack of a better term, you're probably the one person here in this specific podcast who has the closest to an unbiased, I want to say, opinion on most of this. I have an unbiased opinion on 99% of the shit, but there's that little 1%. So go ahead.
Yeah. Well, as for the Titans live action stuff and Teen Titans Season 6, yeah, that live action is likely gonna bomb, because fuck Batman. I mean, come on. What the hell is wrong with you people?
I was going to say the fact that he killed like 5 people with a machine gun, but okay.
Yeah, pretty much. So, yeah, that's probably going to bomb. As for Teen Titans Season 6, well, I think it'd be cool to see Kid Flash. Other than that, not much more to say on that. I just think it'd be cool to see maybe Kid Flash, or actually, yeah, just Kid Flash. I don't think it'd be a good idea to introduce Superboy, because I kind of like the whole they're not like crazy overpowered kind of thing that they've been going with. Now, as for topic 2, maybe, just maybe, James Gunn, if he decides to take the deal from WB, maybe he could do a Teen Titans movie. I mean, I don't think they've made a live action movie for that. So, maybe it could be good. And as for topic 3, yeah, they're fucked. They're fucked. The entire software development kit is just, anyone can access it now. Anyone can see, oh, so this is how they do it and all that, and use it to get rips of all their games. Someone's probably going to make an emulator soon. And, of course, everyone's going to hack it. So, at this point, yeah, that's the end of it. But hey, at least they made an assload of money off of it beforehand.
I mean, damn, that was cruelly realistic, but not gonna hold it against you.
It was a pity, really, but that's how it goes sometimes.
Okay, Mr. Mayfield, go ahead and knock out the topics. If you need a refresher, just ask.
Okay, let's see here. Topic 1. I'm not really fond with the whole Teen Titans. And that's only because I haven't read, comics or even
Okay,
looked
well,
at
let me
any
get you
show
caught up to
or
speed.
whatever.
All right, so long story short, the Teen Titans became very beloved over the course of the mid 2000s. And they pretty much rise and fail only because of Cartoon Network, not because of sucking, for lack of a better term. So now what's happened is they're still trying to capitalize or reinvigorate that level of success by making both a live action show and also making season 6 of the canceled without it actually sucking Teen Titans show that used to be on Cartoon Network. Here's the problem with the live action though. What? Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, when I think of Teen Titans, I only think about, is it like 6 characters in the group, or was it more?
It's basically any version of any younger version of a superhero that was out there pretty much somehow end up on this team at some point. So if there's Superman, Superboy goes on this team. That type of deal.
Well, okay, so if I'm thinking this straight, there was Robin, Cyborg, Beast Boy, Raven.
Yeah. So what happened is when they did the live action one, they started messing with the formula, but they messed with the formula not in a creative way, in a stupid edgelord way. For those of you old schoolers out there, much like myself, who don't know what the hell a edgelord is, it's basically someone obsessed with trying to be as edgy or look as cool as possible, but they're failing every time they try. So literally in this one trailer, which the trailer was the nail in the coffin, almost everything else was perfectly fine, Starfire aside, because we already did Starfire. Robin takes a machine gun and kills an alley full of people. And he also makes a statement, fuck Batman. So yeah. So basically, do you think that it is possible for them to even make it past season 1? Or if they do make it past season 1, do you think that they're going to even be successful? However, since you have no information and no background with ever seeing the Titans or knowing anything about them, you're absolved from that question. But I will toss you another question because I forgot to ask Officer this question. Discord, which is what we're on right now. No, we're not looking for freebies, but just saying, Discord's a lot more easier to manage than Skype sometimes. Is now developing an independent video game curation system. Let me say that again. Video game curation system. Meaning you can buy, play indie games directly from them. Basically Steam. You think they'll do it better, or are they going to fail? Also, would you buy a game from Discord over Steam? Why or why not? And just to clarify, when I say it's a curated system of distribution, what it means is that they actually play the games before they go up to the store. They don't wait for people to tell them, hey, this shit sucks, take it down.
Gasp. Oh yeah, I did kind of skip over that one. I'll do that after Mayfield's done here.
Gotcha.
Well, as far as the whole Discord goes, I see it being successful. And,
I mean, they got already 150 million users, so I mean, what would possibly go wrong? They wouldn't die from it.
Probably the whole hacking thing, like with Nintendo's problem, but That's probably will be the least of Discord's problems. Uh, as far as Teen Titans go, it's gonna fail. Point blank. I mean, they can only do so much with what they have, and after seeing the trailer with the whole, as you said, Robin killing everyone and saying "fuck Batman," even though it was probably funny, but at the same time, it's just more of this is not Teen Titans. This is not the Teen Titans that we know. Like, well, yeah, it might not be the Teen Titans that we know or have respect for, but what you see is what you get.
Hey, you're breaking up a little bit.
Said,
Dre, you're breaking up a little bit.
Yeah. Hold on a second. What about now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, try saying that last part again.
Well.
Oh God, it's Super Robot.
Yeah. Hey, Dre, try leaving the chat and coming back in.
More than likely.
There was a delay on his speech. I just noticed that. Yo.
Okay, how about now?
Yeah. All right. Try that again.
What I was saying was what you see is what you get, and whoever was in charge of the whole, Teen Titans project, they just dropped the ball. And seems like there's going to be no redemption or recovery from this. So, might as well just chalk a loss on this one.
Okay. Also, on a side note, make sure you remember to have your radio off completely while you're in the podcast, because that also does cause interference. Okay. Well, the next part is the James Gunn thing, so go ahead. Oh no, wait. Officer, go ahead and give your little opinion on Discord curation distribution.
Well, as far as I see it, if there's a game that I can only get through Discord that I'm definitely going to enjoy playing, then yeah, I'll get it through Discord. But there's no games on their service that I want to play, then I'm not going to bother.
Here's my question. I mean, this isn't my answer, but this is what I have a question about. I don't know if it's been listed anywhere online. Feel free to try to find it if you can. When you get a game from them, is it going to have DRM, and can I play it offline? I haven't seen that question answered. But since they're anti-Steam policy, I want to make an assumption, but you know how assumptions work. It makes an ass out of you. All right, so next question. Just to get you caught up, we're on the James Gunn making a DC. Gunn. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Let's see here. I believe he could take the deal, and if he does take the deal, of course he can have like so many ideas as far as a movie is concerned. One of them I would like to see would be Red Hood, but chances of that happening is like, I don't know, maybe slim, very slim. And of course, there are several more characters from DC that would like to be portrayed in a live-action movie. I think it's Hawk Girl. I think it is.
Yeah, that's her name.
Yeah, Hawk Girl is one of them. Raven could be a good movie if portrayed well. Um, Cyborg, Cyborg wouldn't be a bad idea. So for James Gunn, it seems if he does take this deal, sky's the limit. Oh, and I believe if he really wanted to make more money than he already had with Marvel, he can go ahead and I don't know do a Deathstroke movie, but those are just my opinions on it.
Damn, that makes me curious now. How would James Gunn handle a Deathstroke movie?
How indeed.
Well,
All right.
well,
Well, next question.
who knows?
The Nintendo Switch and the fact that their SDK leaked.
Is it the nail in the coffin? Yes. At this point, their security system sucks. If it's so easy for any hacker whatsoever to even get through it, then what's really the point of even? Well, I mean, what's really the point of even make it secretive anymore? I know you want to probably do everything in a procedure manner, but if this got hacked, well, was it hacked or leaked?
No, it wasn't hacked. There are hackers and hackers who found their way inside of the system, but no, the entire SDK, aka software development kit, got leaked, meaning somebody who had access to it either got their data copied or they purposely did it.
Yeah, that should have been. Well, whoever did it, it should have. It should have been done properly, well, differently. But I mean, it is what it is. This is Nintendo that we're talking about. So if anything gets hacked nowadays, oh well. Or if it gets leaked, so be it.
Okay. Well, I guess that just leaves me. All right, as far as the live action Titans, I don't think there's a comeback. I think it's bombed, not just because fan negativity, and that's just me being very nice about it, but because corporations don't like to think about fan bases so much as the bottom line, which is fucking stupid. There are some rare exceptions. Like, there are a lot of companies who put people that give a shit about the brand in power. But if the person above them gives a shit about money, I mean, how much power and control do they really have? Now, that being said, you know we can hear that, right? Now, that being said...
I'm in the car. Sorry.
No. I know you're in a car. I mean, just, don't forget to hit the mute or push the talk button.
Oh, gotcha.
Now, that being said, fucking, they're just going to think, oh, wow, no one liked it. Okay, move on to the next thing. You got to remember, DC doesn't care if they rehash their characters. They accept it as a fact. Whether they rock or they suck, they're going to rehash. Marvel is a little bit different. Disney want to rehash. That's their entire lifeblood. I don't think I've seen Mickey Mouse, not in some form of a cartoon, as a child for longer than, I want to say, 3 years. Disney always has somebody doing something in some way, shape, or form. Like, if you were in the 90s, it was Donald Duck and Donald Duck related characters. In fact, it was like the first true crossover universe for America at the time. Normally what happens is you get a cartoon and they want to feature these two characters or these two plus however many characters together in this one scenario, and that's it. Disney said fuck that in the 90s. For the most part. But, you know, after the 90s, they started heavily promoting the cartoons based off of their cartoon movies. So if there was a Hercules TV show, there would be a Hercules movie first. That's how they used to do it back in the day. If you wanted to make your television show sell, you gave it a big ass movie first, and if the movie bombed, you don't make the show, or you don't air the first season or the pilot episode. Buffy, contrary to a lot of these younger fans' memory, Buffy was a movie that became a television show, not vice versa. Dude, people sometimes look at me when I say that. They look at me like I just cured cancer, or it's almost like when I told young bucks, like the really millennials, like the ones that are like at least 10 years away from me, and I'm a millennial. They look at me when I tell them, hey, you know the emails used to cost money, right? Like I legit just made that shit up and somehow broke reality at the same time. It's a very interesting face. Hope you guys can see it one day, just for the shits and giggles.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, they are not going to give a flying third of a fuck and just say, oh, well, we'll make Titans again in like a couple months. Or, you know what, let's just throw the rest of the Titans money at the Teen Titans season 6. And you know what? 6 seasons in a motherfucking movie. Since it's still this popular, might as well go start off 7 seasons with an in-between movie that we make direct to DVD, Blu-ray, as well as having limited theatrical release. But it shouldn't be limited. How the fuck the Teen Titans Go? A show that didn't get half the attention and got far more negative fucking commentary than the original show get a movie. Like, seriously. I'm actually disgusted with DC for that one. A lot of stuff DC does, if I don't like it, I just don't like it, and I think it's garbage. And, well, usually critics and the fans will agree with me, and, you know, I ain't got shit to say. But the fact that happened actually made me lose a bit of respect for them, which is hard because I don't idolize DC. I look at them as what they truly are at their core, but I also still understand how they've shaped some of the human condition, at least in Western countries. There are people who tell you like, yeah, they love who they are and they got the way they are in life and they came to the conclusion about how to live their life because of comic book characters. Yeah, they're not real, but that don't mean you can't learn from them. I've seen people in the military and firemen with Superman tattoos. They didn't get brave overnight. They had to learn it. And really, is Superman that bad of a teacher? And this is coming from the guy who don't give a shit about his comics unless it's a story where he gets his ass beat. But that aside.
Yeah.
Now, as far as Teen Titans, the show, I want to see them find out who Slade is. Even though it's not going to mean anything for the Teen Titans as a whole, I want it to be used to open doors to having Slade's children come onto the show more. Because no one realized it, but that silent kid who could leave his body that got kidnapped by that group of villains that wanted young heroes, when he played the guitar, the reason they spent a little bit more extra time on him than normal, even though we had never seen him before, yeah, that was one of Slade's kids. But the other one is basically just like Slade, but she ends up being on the Teen Titans. That opens the door to a whole nother mess of stories. What if she's one of those characters who has lived, if you catch my drift? What if she's killed people? You know, what if they just decide they want her on the team, but then they learn, oh, she's got murderous intent and she's killed people before. So it becomes, you know, she's the next person to go through character development, because you can't really go through Cyborg character development because he's one of the most stable people in the entire fucking show. Starfire's character development isn't really so much character development as it is learning about her past and the team reacting and helping her learn about her past, like the issues with her sister and shit like that, which was hell. That was like the first episode, like legit the first episode if memory serves. Then you got, you know, Raven, shit, that took damn near 1.5 to 3 seasons that to fully go through. But they understand it now. Beast Boy, again, he was like a 1 episode or a 2 episode special because he's a very stable character. But it's how they interact with each other and the enemies that forces weaknesses to show up or instabilities. Beast Boy didn't really ever, you know, take a fight too seriously until he fought Slade over Terra. Tara is a whole nother bag of shit in general. She may be faking the amnesia for all we know. But, and I stress this, but if you want to spice up that system, you got to add more people. Everybody knows Speedy, aka the Green Arrow's old sidekick, and Robin were born to parody each other. There was an Arrow Cave back in the day. There was an Arrowmobile back in the day. One of the first people Robin interacted with that was like him was Arrow, or Speedy as he's going by. So, you know, what if, and they also had a little bit of a rivalry on the episode that they showed up. So what if, you know, he shows up on the team, everybody likes him, and, you know, it starts looking like he's becoming a secondary leader, which pisses off Robin. Because remember, we know Robin actually doesn't like to not be in charge of the Titans. Remember when Cyborg tried to leave the team and he was nagging him and harassing him the whole time? You know, there's so many ways they can take it. I've spent a lot of time thinking about this because, deep in the back recesses of my mind, instead of writing for comedy, not that I would ever quit it, you know, I wouldn't mind being a writer of shit like this, you know? So yeah, that's my answer for that. Now, as far as Discord, I would totally do it in a heartbeat, but I need to know those answers. Are they going to be like good old gaming, no DRM, and if I buy it, do I need to be online? I want to know that. If mods are allowed, how they're going to handle mods, all that good shit. I want to know it because I don't hate Steam, but the reason I don't is because I'm not obsessed with it as a lot of other people I know. I am not, as I've told Dre many times before, I am not a PC gamer by nature.
True.
Because there's never a time when it just works when I start it up. There's always an issue. Or better yet, you know, if I don't know what the maximum settings I can run this thing on, I gotta fucking run a benchmark. Why the fuck can't I press one button and it automatically goes to the best, most optimal version for my computer? Also, what happens if I install a game, but there's some type of error or glitch that I can't get directly fixed? They don't make patches for individual people. They make patches for the masses. I bought Dragon Ball FighterZ on the PC only for PC mods. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure I mentioned that on the podcast some time ago. Because I was mainly going to play it on the PS4. Because I was mad they didn't put it on the Switch. Now they're putting it on the Switch. But yeah, like the PC mods, shit pissed me off because I would get an error during installation. It wouldn't go past like 40 or 45%. I told Steam about it. They let me get a refund. I got a better chance of hacked versions of games working sometimes than I do the actual games. You know how messed up that is? I can't finish Metal Gear Solid 5 on the PC because it randomly gets stuck in a crash loop without me even getting to the menu. The only reason I even got on PS4 was because it happened to be on sale in a big ass collection. So I legit did not have to pay that much money for it. I paid like $12. $12. Because they had a sale on the definitive edition. Starting from scratch in that game sucks because the way it's set up, it's not mentioned unless you go through a lot of the actual people who reviewed it, not people who kissed that game's ass because Hideo Kojima got abused. Yeah, he did. I don't like that it happened, but no, let's not sugarcoat shit. It's still gonna be shit. When you build or construct things in that game that don't affect story mode, they put a timer on them, a legitimate real world timer. And that timer doesn't go away when you turn off the game. So if I want a really good sniper rifle, I gotta wait possibly anywhere from 1 to 18 in-game hours in real time. That's not the worst one. When you want to make your base builder, which helps you build better equipment, helps you find better intel and get translators so you can understand the different languages in the game to find new data or information scattered around the world map, which is actually pretty impressive. And it's hard to make a good world map because most people just make an open world just because somebody in information said, ooh, make it open world, and there'll be nothing in them. If you do build base construction, every single time you do it, I believe it is a 2.5 to an 8 hour wait. Don't quote me on that. I just know it's a few hours. That is fucking insane. So you could be, because there's no level on the character, you can be running around with level 3 equipment or level 4 equipment, waiting on bases and shit to be built up. Only to find out, you go and play the game the natural way, you progress so far that your own tech can't keep up with what the enemies are doing. So guess what you got to do now? You got to send out your own crew to go and do away missions that disable the enemy. Now that's smart. Here's the problem again. It takes up 6 to 8 hours. Oh, you can't handle people that have a lot of night vision goggles, but they got weak ass weapons and your shit's very underpowered. Okay, well, I guess I better send a team out to do ambushes 6 to 8 hours later. 6 to 8 hours later. Oh, now they don't have those night vision goggles anymore. It's like it's almost a no-win situation. You're better off, and this is what I've learned. You're better off building a bunch of shit with a lot of money than literally putting your character in the rest position, laying on the ground, and setting your game to not automatically turn off after a certain amount of hours. Go to work or some shit, come back the next day, and then go do a mission. Or, set up your base. That should not happen in a stealth game. That type of tactic is better off in a fucking strategy game. And even then, it shouldn't be going by real world time.
Let me guess. They also had the option of, hey, you can pay money to speed this up.
No.
Wow. They actually held back on that. I was shocked.
No, they didn't hold back on it. They just didn't think about it. Once Kojima made that game, no one else was supposed to be allowed to do anything other than data patching. Now, that aside, that's just how I feel. I know there is an X factor with PC games that does not exist on anywhere else. It's kind of weird. I won't touch a Mac, but I know how homogenized and how little they allow you to do. But I don't want that on my fucking PC. I don't want the instability. But if I got a video game, you better act like a Mac, bitch. Everything better fucking work. That's why Resident Evil 6 bombed so well. It wasn't even because people didn't like how it was structured. Yeah, they built up an entirely new fan base because of Resident Evil 5. But no, dude, that game was so unplayable. There were some people who couldn't actually finish the game day one because it needed a fucking patch to allow it to work properly. But gotta meet those deadlines. They're quarterly. Fucking stupid. Anyways, James Gunn, the man who platonically stole my heart, if that's even platonically capable. Anyways, the main reason I think he's being hunted is because if y'all remember, Warner Brothers also wanted to hire or did hire Kevin Feige to head off their movie department, or it was either Josh Whedon, who's been going between those two. So I think Kevin Feige went and did it. And he initiated it. Now, I don't know what you guys remember about Ike Perlmutter, besides the fact that this jackass is now in charge of Veteran Affairs benefits, which still haunts me in my sleep. Because, well, what the fuck does a comic book publisher know about benefits and aid of military personnel? Retired military personnel. He knows as much as Donald Trump does about being a president. Huh. By the way, they're good friends. That's how he got the job, not because he's qualified or he paid someone off because he knows Donald Trump. Yeah, you say that, but it's the internet. People ain't looking for information. They want information to magically find them half the time. Damn, that is so true. Okay, so yeah, I think he couldn't get rid of James Gunn, even though James Gunn is notorious for, like, I think every third or fourth fucking Twitter tweet or twat, I'm not sure what the terminology is, that came out of his mouth was insulting or proving Donald Trump was an idiot or a liar. No joke. Go look up his Twitter. I'm on it too. So I think he just saw a golden opportunity, especially since the group that dug this up, even though it got dug up back in Guardians of the Galaxy 1 where he explained it, was a conservative think tank. And you know how those go. They only got two jobs. Get money, be a shameless whore. And the second job is try to make anybody who's not them and doesn't want to bend to their knee look like shit. Who better than the person who constantly attacks their quote unquote Lord and Savior? Their orange Lord and Savior. Good old President Pumpkin. Anyways, I think he should go after Young Justice. Because obviously, as he's mentioned, and Hollywood is filled with nepotism, and I will say to the death, yes, nepotism is wrong. But a professional relationship in Hollywood mirrors nepotism. So they almost walk hand in hand. So I understand it on some level. But we've learned he likes to do things around people he considers friends or, employees and actors he thinks can eventually or at some point in time become friends. So he might build up a group since he can't have his baby anymore. He got the perfect options with Young Justice. He could have heroes that used to have homicidal tendencies or used to be the bad guy. And he can also have those happy-go-lucky Beast Boy type characters. Like, the options is there. He got a lot of choices. And then the best part, the characters will be young. So he can use them 10 to 12 years like a lot of these bigger franchises plan their stuff out. They want the character for 10 to 12 years. I think the sky is his limit at DC because he can turn around their entire movie thing. But I also want to see him do something on the animated side just because that's the one thing he hasn't directed. Animation. See, you have a very limited budget. But here's the thing. You are able to pull off more with animation on a cheaper scale. Or you can get more effort and spectacle with that same budget applied to animation. And it's easier to do reshooting. I think the world is an oyster, but I think Young Justice will be a sweet spot for him. He might go for Titans, or he might do a crossover. But I think that would be like a good sweet spot for him. Now, my frenemy, Nintendo. I have a very sordid past with Nintendo and Nintendo fans. I am not one of those people who is incapable of making unbiased opinions and decisions. But this is the video game world, which acts a lot like the fucking hood sometimes. If you ain't in this gang, you in the other gang. If you in that other gang, some of your friends or some people might just say fuck you. And genuinely mean it. Let me just start off on some good notes. They have the best customer service out of the big three. Now, Dre, you may not remember this because this is way before you got on the podcast, but I told Officer about this some time ago. The second month of my Switch, something was wrong with it, I found out. I sent it in to Nintendo, and they fucking lost it. They lost it. They sent it to the wrong address, and whoever got it, just got it. They straight up stole it. But,
wow.
I know. And here's the thing about the Switch that was really fucking stupid. You can't get your data off of the fucking system. Your system saves to that. The reason it has an SD card slot, you can put games on that SD card slot. That is insane. It's like you're taking 5 steps forward and then one big ass jump backwards. Is it more than 5? Is it less than 5? Let's roll the dice, bitch. So I lost all of my shit. That's why I still haven't finished Legend of Zelda. I had over 100 hours. I am not going to feel like going back to that for quite some time. I had beaten 3 of the Great Guardians, and I wasn't afraid to do side story shit. So, what made me sad was I told them about it. They said, oh, okay, well, no worries. We're going to send you a brand new one. It's going to have a screen protector on it. And then guess what they said? Hey, You want a controller? I was like, what? Oh, wait. How much? No. Do you want a controller? I was like, fuck yeah. So, hey, a nigga got a controller. And I was pleased as punch. And I actually had a little bit of a surplus on accessories. Wasn't too mad about it. But now we got in a situation where I forgot what happened. Oh yeah, that Switch they brought me that was brand new, they didn't check it. It had the exact same problem as the old Switch. But that's okay. Because I had not touched my system because all I had was Zelda at the time, so I didn't lose anything. But then they said, hey, do you want a game? I was just like, bruh. It's like trying to be mad at your girlfriend, but she's making you feel very happy at the same time. So we need to get him back. We need to get him back because his schedule is just out of whack. And I said, okay. It was like, they gave me a download code for ARMS, like the same week it came out. So I gave them back that system. They guaranteed me this one worked. I talked to them at least over the phone, direct customer service line for the Switch, maybe 7 times. I was actually getting to know the employees. It was weird. And they actually hired their own fans to run their customer service. I had like a 10-minute conversation explaining to somebody there's a crossover in the Fire Emblem Fates with Fire Emblem Awakening without DLC. And this girl like lost her shit. So I got ARMS, I got a controller, the good one, not a left Joy-Con controller and a right Joy-Con controller. Like they gave me big boy. They gave me a legitimate old school hand controller. By the way, oh my god, that thing can hold a charge for almost a week, and it takes almost 4 to 5 gameplay hours for it to be intense to even get that thing to half battery. But the crazy part, bro, it only takes like 30 minutes or less to charge up all the way to max.
That's really good.
Yeah, for the first time ever, I got to test it out because the Dragon Ball Fighter Z free demo / beta came out, and my controller was at 0. So I was trying to play this thing on the regular Joy-Con controllers. Oh my god, it felt so weird. Like, the accuracy on the D-pad arrows is good, but that analog is so small. You can press run, forward, and you can do an air dash. Like, it's too sensitive. So,
all right, I gotta head out. Later, man.
All right, take care. So, what ended up happening is, I fucking been playing fighters with it, and it just feels right. Everything's spaced out how it should be. They know it's for big people, or at least they know the people who are going to use this shit aren't just little kids. So I love it. Now, with that being said, they need to move on. They need to do exactly what Xbox did when they found out that people hacked for very little money the operating system of the Xbox so bad it could play every single other game system that came out before it and probably run the game better. From Atari to GameCube. Hackers were even making fucking controller adapters to use the original controllers for all of these systems. Like the Xbox went from being as tight to Fort Knox to being as loose as a $2 hole in the street. Like, I actually felt bad for them, but it was a little bit funny. Most powerful game system. Yeah, let's test that out. Okay, yeah, it runs everything better than normal. But that's more of an ironic thing. But here's the thing. They could just make a better version of the Switch, give it a Switch, and add some stupid name to it. Just don't say the new Switch, because that shit got annoying and confusing when you're trying to call and buy the new Nintendo 3DS. that's actually called the new Nintendo 3DS. That was dumb. I'm sorry, that was dumb. It was a headache. I even told their customer service, hey, next time you guys make any system, don't put the word new in it.
Because it won't be new.
No, it's because when you call up retailers, hi, do you have the new Nintendo 3DS? Yes, we have Nintendo 3DSs that are new and used. I'm like, no, do you have the new 3DS that's called new? It's like, yes, we have new Nintendo 3DS. Dude, I went in a loop like that with like at least 4 different people. And it wasn't even their fault. But, yeah, where was I? Okay, so basically, ow, hit my knee. So basically, fucking, the way I see it, what should go down and what should happen is that they should go in and make a new processor, new motherboard, new operating system, but make it backwards compatible. Just make everything as secure as they can. Take it at a little bit at a loss, maybe lose $50 to $100. You finally fix your virtual console source so you can make that back real quick. Plus, everybody else was selling their systems at a loss anyway, but that's because they knew, business costs money. So, and just make it look like the Switch, make it compatible with all of the Switch accessories, or make a very cheap adapter that maybe comes in the box, and go from there. I would love a Switch that's powerful enough to play a game in 1080, or at least has a way longer battery life than the current Switch. And here's the thing, if you know about batteries in small devices or laptops, every time you make something thicker or longer or bigger, you have to readjust almost everything or shift around anything that's in the immediate area. Or make a bigger casing. Fucking do it. Make a new dock. Keep the number of accessories that they have to change limited. Make it backwards compatible. Or make it so once it gets a Nintendo Switch game, it rewrites how it works so it can't go through the same issues. This is a really easy fix, but I understand that they're having a lot of trouble with it because right now Nintendo is tripping and falling into pipes filled with money. But at the same time, your security is garbage, and you're supposed to be allowing online play for more than one game with voice chat in the near future, like September, middle of September this year. I get it. You fucked a lot of your shit up. And you got to spend your money doing a lot of different things because cybersecurity is serious business. Some people even put out bounties for that shit. Did you know that? They actually pay hackers to come in and try to break their security system and tell them how they did it so they can fix it. And they win $20,000 to $30,000. If you got to do that to make sure your shit is legit secure, god damn, hackers are scary. They really are. They're also immortal. All you can do is push them back. So, I just think they need to not stop advertising the Switch. I just think they need to come out with a new version that has a different operating system and an SDK kit. And, just quietly tell developers, oh yeah, this is actually an upgraded Switch. It has a better ability to run stuff. We've already seen they have patents for higher RAM and higher processors to go into or around the Switch dock. So make a special dock that overwrites the Switch and makes it have a different OS, Something. I'm not a technical person, but a newer system that mimics the Switch and plays Switch stuff can fix a lot of these issues. Probably. But hey, that's just a theory. All right. Dre, you got any closing statements?
No, not really.
Well, with that being said, like I mentioned earlier, people, the Dragon Ball FighterZ beta has started. I might put some Dragon Ball FighterZ footage with this video just, for semantics. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.